With Tre Johnson on the Hoffman Show. Tre, it feels like you and Will have a really good connection. The way he's kind of wired, the way you're wired seem to be pretty similar. Obviously, you guys met, as has been discussed at length during the draft process. So when your name is called by Washington the other night, you know that that's your general manager. The other people you met here, the people that are going to be your colleagues and who you work with. What's going through your mind, and how excited were you?
Great to be selected by this organization, most definitely. It's a blessing. And also just, especially coming from my visit down here, it was the last team I visited, and it was by far the best place I visited, I would say, just from the front office and just how family-oriented it was. It didn't feel like any other place. So when I heard my name being called at 6 to Washington, it was actually great. Actually, everybody doesn't get to go to a place that they want to go to, so I feel like it was great to be able to go to a place that I wanted to be.
What was it that you, on that visit, you noticed that was different about here and the way they were doing things versus the way that other teams were doing it?
I just say they took me out to go do an activity on my visit, before I even worked out or anything like that. Will let me meet his family while I was there on my visit, so I feel like it was really family oriented. I didn't do anything like that anywhere else. It was mainly about basketball, and he had different people talking to me from different branches of his staff, I would say, and everybody was talking about basketball. Some groups were talking about personal things and talking about mental health and different stuff like that. So I feel like it's more than just about a basketball place here, I would say.
And then you do eventually get to the workout and the basketball portion. What was that experience like with BK and the staff?
It was great. Topper put me through a great workout, I would say. And that's probably my best workout of the 4 teams I worked out for. I would say that also helped me get picked at 6, I would say. But, yeah, it was a great workout. It was tiring and just mentally had to push myself, I would say.
Just generally, what's that experience like? So we're talking to Tre Johnson here on the Hoffman Show. What's that experience like? I do a lot with the NFL draft as well, and looking at the schedule those guys get, it's a ton of travel. You're having to do all these workouts. You're getting poked. You're getting prodded mentally, sometimes physically if there's medical stuff that's happening. So, what's that experience like to know, oh, this workout's really, really important for my future, and I'm exhausted because this is my 8th city in whatever number of days?
I knew it was very important because they had the 6th pick. That was the lowest that team I worked out for, I would say. And I just knew in the back of my mind that it had to be a good workout for me, just because I wasn't working out for nobody else after 6, so it could be up and down if I didn't get picked here.
With Tre Johnson again here on the Hoffman Show. Last year, leading scorer in the SEC. It was considered the best conference in the country. There's so many great players, including a bunch of guys that got drafted with you on Wednesday night. To have that level of production in that conference, when did you have the confidence to know, I can really produce here. I can really do this at this level right now?
You talking about in college or?
Yeah, in college. We're winning the season last year. We were oh, this is no fluke. I can really score like this in the SEC.
Kind of just throughout practice. Pushing myself throughout practice, really just preparing myself mentally for what the worst could be. I say from my defensive standpoint where I could be sane. And then just my consistency in my workouts, I would say, that really helped me. And then just getting out there on the court, it kind of just felt normal.
And then some of our colleagues have been able to talk to your high school coach as well, and he talked about the thing that Will said at the podium where it's oh, you're doing workouts early before a team workout, which then there's another team workout. What drove you early on to be like that, to have that work ethic? And this may sound like a silly question, but hard work is one thing. Knowing what to work on is a different. How did you know what you needed to do?
Knowing what I needed to do is just, I've been doing it all my life, especially with my father. And so that me knowing what I needed to do wasn't too hard, I would say. Also because he's been there and helped me out. And then just me knowing the shots that I needed to work on, it was the same shots that I was getting in practice, same shots I was going to get in the game. But me wanting to work and me wanting to work out before practice, stuff like that, I was doing that since I was a kid, at a young age.
How young are we talking?
Probably younger than 10. Before 10 practice, me and my dad would get up shots to work out before. Sometimes we work out after as well. So I just kind of had that in the back of my mind, and I know that it works, most definitely. So that's what I continue to stay with, I would say.
When's the last time you and your pops played one-on-one?
When I was in 5th grade.
And that what happened? Was that you beat him once and that's it? That was it?
No, he beat me once and that was it.
You wouldn't compete against him anymore. That was it.
Nah, he don't want to play no more.
I mean, you're in the NBA now, so that's fair to him.
I guess so. I guess that's fair.
All right. What are you looking forward to about the city, about DC, beyond the basketball court?
Just seeing the area. meeting different people and just going to different museums, I would say. That's one thing I was told that's great about DC is the different museums and different history about it. So it's most definitely exploring that.
Tre Johnson, congratulations again. Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.